Solo training is an important part when it comes to your study of the sword fighting art, so if about your cuts you really do care, perhaps you might try the Meyer Square. Hey friends, Lauren back with you, and today we're going to talk about Meyer Square and cutting drills for historical longsword. Before we get to that though, I need to say thank you to AP Gaming Grill for the HyperX microphone help. I really appreciate that. So we have a new microphone. Hopefully it makes a difference. We get a bit of improvement in audio quality. We'll find out, won't we? So again, a shout out for you AP because you helped out. I appreciate it a lot. Alright, now back to Meyer Square. So what is this crazy number thing that we saw after the intro played to the video? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 squares. Okay? Outside, and then they get inside. And then numbers change in every square. But this is a cutting drill. So, Meyer's book came out in 1570. A lot of great stuff, a lot of great techniques, whether you're longsword or rapier or staff or pole weapons, whatever. It's fantastic. Okay? Yes, I like 15th century mostly, but it's a great resource to have, and it's something that we use to add to our training material in what we do at our club here in Calgary. So, yeah, Meyer stuff, really good. But Meyer Square is this solo cutting drill, and it can be a little confusing to look at, but it is a really good drill. Okay, so how do we understand this? Well, there are different cutting drills that you can do in different directions and a lot of stuff. But for Meyer, it's really a full body workout. Okay, that's what I describe it as. So it's a really good way to get your whole body warmed up and ready for training longsword. And if you're doing solo stuff, it's a good full body workout, but you're going to be a little confused because you've got these numbers and the numbers are in different places in each square. And what does it all mean? Well, there are 4 cuts, and only 4 cuts you need to know to use Meyer Square. 2 from above and 2 from below. So what we call Oberhau, overcuts, and Unterhau, undercuts. Okay, so one, the sword comes from over, the other, the sword comes from under. And you do them on either side, so you have 4 cuts. Okay, but we don't go 2, 3, 4 like a standard warm-up drill. We want to really work the wrists and forearms, as well as the shoulders, as well as the hips, as well as the legs and the knees. So remember, we're going to exhale on our cuts, we're going to breathe, we're going to keep our knees bent, very important. But the secret to Meyer Square is all you really have to do is find where the number 1 is. And the number 1 is going to be the direction of your first cut. And once you know that, you don't need to remember where the other numbers are. Because the trick to it is that whatever your first cut is, if your first cut is an Oberhau, your next 2 will be Unterhaus, finished with an Oberhau. So you always do 1, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 1. What? Oh. So let's go through it. So the outside ring is very simple. The number 1 is, for me, a strong Oberhau. So from my right side, it is this Oberhau passing, I come down. The number 2 then tells me to reverse the sword and cut up. The number 3 then says cut up from the other side. Then the number 4 says reverse and cut down. Oh, so that's how that works. So you see, I do a cut from strong above, my Oberhau. I do rising, falling. Okay. So whatever the sequence is, you start with a cut from either above or below, 2 from the opposite section, finish up with the same section you started from. Okay? So really what's most important is dividing it into 2. This is going to help you remember. So I don't have to memorize where all the numbers are. I just have to know which one I'm starting with. Oh, the number 1 is now down here. It's saying I cut number 1 from a weak Unterhau position for me. So if that's cut number 1, I automatically reverse, mirror, reverse. Okay? Do that again. So I cut from below That means I have to do 1 from above, 2 from above, finish from below. Oh, so whatever quadrant you start in, you do 2 from the opposite quadrant, you finish in the original quadrant. So if I start with a weak overhand, I reverse, I come back up, so I do 1 from below, 2 from below, and finally 1 from above. So above, below, below, above. That's how you interpret Meyer Square. And of course, the last one, if I do a strong unterhow, up, turn, so I did my 1 from under, I'm going to go over once, over twice, under to finish. Recover to a guard. There you go. So that's how you interpret this Meyer Square. That's all you have to remember. All you know is where the first cut comes from. You do that first one, you reverse it, you follow the path back up. You drop down, you come from the other side, you reverse it, you come back. There you go. Okay? So I've explained it a few times. I've done them. I don't want to smash into anything because they're fairly big cuts. But if you're doing it properly with your passing footwork as you go with your knees bent, exhaling with each cut, inhaling between them, well, that's good. You can go a combination of forward and backward with each cut. You can go all backwards, all forwards. However you want to do it. You can vary it up. But it's getting your whole body moving. You're twisting your wrists. So if I do my cut from above and then need to come from below and I'm crossing my wrists on that unterhow, I'm getting everything working. So it's a full body workout. And that's why it's such a good little thing. We've recently added it to our curriculum for our intermediate longsword group. And hopefully it's something that could help you. So if you've never heard of Meyer Square, but you're interested in studying European longsword, it's a really good thing to do. I mean, if you look it up through your search engine, whether it be Google or Yahoo or whatever, you'll find lots of stuff and lots of articles and it'll explain some of the history and terminology and things like that. But just remember, if you're looking at it and having a little bit of trouble, I have to memorize all these numbers. No, just know where the 1 is, what quadrant it's from, start there, 2 from the opposite way, 1 from the same up to finish, okay? So always go 1, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 1. That's how you're going to remember it, okay? Hopefully this makes sense. If you do have questions about it, please put them in the comments. And of course, remember, your comments do help shape the content of the channel, and your likes and subscribes are also really appreciated. But yeah, ask. So if you want to know more about Meyer Square or other cutting drills, let me know. Definitely help you along and make sure that it becomes a great part of your own longsword study curriculum. Anyway, until next time, friends, do take care, stay safe, and keep on swinging.